whatever autopilot they were given by a board 20 years ago who probably knew what they were doing, but as I'm learning more and more, probably didn't know as much as they should have known about what they were doing, and we're living with the consequence. So the issue comes down to it is the value is if we're going to make a change, that determination needs to be made where it needs to be made. I mean, I think administration will participate in that, will guide us in doing that, but ultimately, it's not going to be their decision to make. It's going to be our decision whether or not that serves the interest of the public at large. And to tell the public, sorry, you're out of luck because you can't have any part of the budget because we've already preordained everything 20 years ago by a set of folks who had nothing to do with what we're doing with today. And that's the thing that I feel is got me fired up. So.
And I would add also, it's like, full disclosure, even though those are the funds I present to you as general fund discretionary, the board, of course, is still responsible for the entire budget. So to see that road funds are spent appropriately and those health and social service funds.
Sure. And it could be that some of those social service funds that we're allocating are being spent for a variety of things that are always maybe nice and good in terms of its nature, but maybe some of those funds could be used instead of, you know, some of the frills that we're enjoying over here could be used to actually pay for some of the real hard-nosed stuff. You know, I'm finding out we got $4 million here kind of going through the back door through AB 109 into the health and social service milieu. How much of that $4 million could be, instead of what H&SS is doing, I'm not picking on them. I mean, that just is one of the theories. But, you know, if 500,000 of that could be utilized in a way that would benefit what the sheriff's doing directly, instead of maybe what H&SS would otherwise be doing with it, and we have the flexibility and the legal means to do that, and we make that decision, then that means the sheriff isn't taking as much money out of this other stream of money that other people can use, that may not have access to the H&SS money. That's the point that we need to feather out. This is amazing, $4 million. It was just like right there under everybody's eyes.
Yvonne Smith will be here tomorrow, I believe,
Yeah,
and she's the one that helped me put those pieces where they
Sure.
belong. And she probably would be best able to answer the
Well,
legislative requirements of why the
I
money
would
goes
fully
where it
expect him, and then she'll probably say that 4,162,000 is not enough, they need 6 million.
Right, exactly.
And they may want some of this
I
other
think
money
your
that the
point
sheriff
is well
has.
taken.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I think if we're gonna make the decisions that we have to make, I think it would be really helpful that we have that bigger understanding. And by the way, you may think this model doesn't work, it works really good. It's really easy to follow the traits. I mean, Julie and Karen and all the rest of the staff that put this together, Julie gets to monitor. This is an amazing document.
Any other questions for us?
1991 realignment was a precursor of AB 109. They gave
Oh,
you
yeah.
cents on the dollar. It was
Well,
$60.
because of
I
the
agree with
success of the 91 realignment is why they chose to do it
Folks
on
around
AB
success.
109, yeah.
It's you know, for the new borders, it's been a pattern of the state of California for the last 30 years. When they're broke, they come up with this idea called realignment, which basically is transfer state programs, ones that are previously responsible, to the counties, giving us 60 to 80 cents on the dollar, depending on what.
Anytime they mention the word realignment, you should run for the hills as fast as you can.
I did put a reference behind that one that you were looking at to say H&SS to try to be helpful. I mean, I can add descriptions
Right.
to my.
I can hear them.
I just put in green parentheses open there, H and SS, so I
Right.
know that that's
Sounds
the
good.
money.
I can hear the rationalization, but you're right, there might be some priority setting
Oh, yeah.
that,
But that was probably a decision that was made at some point. I don't believe
Well-
the board has ever really weighed in on that. Whether the board needs to or not is immaterial. But, I mean, obviously there was some decision-making behind how
I
these
think
things.
it's dictated by legislative
Very
documents
like
that, and that's
gave
right,
us money.
exactly, and that's what Jim wants, yeah,
I want to see that. I want to know that.
that's right, exactly, agree.
And I think you're gonna find examples of the county staff, the departments trying to reduce net county costs. Dr. Meadows being paid out of the public health department is a prime example of that. In other places, that would be a general fund charge to the jail.
Very good. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Does the audience have any questions or comments on the budget? John, I think we got through most of them.
We did. I'd just like to say in closing, if there aren't any questions.
lunchtime, but anyways, I appreciate your time today.
I appreciate you
One
guys
of the
taking
things that
time to do
I
that.
would suggest to the board may want to hear from each department, are there revenues that could be changed to help offset some of the general fund costs in your budget?
No, I mean, not really. There are no easy answers out there for us. I started to talk about it a little bit. We are working with the state. We're trying to figure out ways to bring in revenues, whether it's contracting with the state to either bring in some, I said our most pressing need is female offenders. If we could rent one of those big state dorms to the state for female offenders, we could potentially move all of ours to the other one. I'm just telling you, we're looking at every option. We understand that revenues are critical to maintaining our operation and all the operations in the county. So we're doing everything we can, thinking about all kinds of options to try to bring in additional revenues, because we know that's critical. And obviously, you guys know that Mr. Chapman always says that this is the most important decision you make each year on the budget. And to each one of the department heads, the most important thing to each one of us is making sure that we have adequate resources to provide the services that we're charged with. So we all take that seriously and personally, and I know that it's gonna be, you guys gonna have some tough decisions to make. And, but you gotta know that we're working hard, we're trying to be good partners, we appreciate the assistance of the CEO's office, Karen, Richard E., and everybody that's helping work with us, and HSS, Melody's been wonderful. I think really we're all fortunate that we have such a good team here, working together. We're not at each other's throats trying to point fingers and cut them, not me. We're trying to figure out a good solution. So I ask though, whatever you guys come to as far as the budgetary decisions for this year, I think we need to move right into starting to talk about next year and some long-term strategies. Obviously, I know that a big part of that would be revenue and trying to lease some of our facilities or bring in some outside offenders. We know that could potentially be a huge part of that answer. But the most important thing for me is that we start looking forward and coming up with long-term plans. That's why I agree with Jim on the fact of, evaluating, our future needs, juvenile hall, the jail, maybe other additional facilities. But we need to know, start making some long-term plans now, because I don't want to drive off the cliff. So anyways, I appreciate your time.
Very well said. Thanks again for your time. That being said, we're a little bit behind schedule. Pleasure of the board.
I would say let's take a lunch break.
So would I. So would Bob, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take a